So originally, Springboard IQ was set up as a mentorship program where if you were a startup and you were looking to, you're in the earlier stages of your business and you wanted access to someone who'd been in the industry before, who's currently active in the industry, you'd subscribe onto Springboard IQ, and we'd align you with someone who's active in that industry, relevant industry. And they'll be able to give you some guidance, some strategy, and even just a bit of accountability. So at the earlier stages of that, we were getting some traction, but where I found it really difficult was actually just the lead gen and the business development side of things. And when you're on your own and you're setting up a business, it can be a bit of a black hole where it can take up a lot of your time. And you start spending a lot of focusing on a lot of trying to get campaigns up and running. Are they the right campaigns? A/B testing. Where do you put some money into some advertising? And a lot of that is uncertainty is a killer, because it's really hard to double down on something when you're just that bit of doubt in your mind. And I got approached by a couple of different lead gen agencies who were offering to do the business development side for me. And look, on paper, a lot of them looked really promising. I actually took a few demos with them, and I actually decided to go ahead with one of them. And looked really good on paper, looked great. They were going to take care of all the email outreach. They were going to do a lot of the prospecting. They were going to do a lot of LinkedIn outreach as well. So I was looking at this, and it was very advanced. A lot of the AI tools were embedded on their software, on their platform, where it could get some really good personalization. And for me, I've been in sales for 10 plus years, all new business. So I know all about trying to reach new prospects and how difficult it can be, but also what you need to do to try and engage them. Everything that this supplier was promising looked really good. So I went ahead with them, signed up for 3 months, and we got, it takes a bit of time to onboard because they have to get familiar with your product, to get familiar with, your audience, your ICP and all that. But we got, I gave it a few weeks to sort of see, but yeah, the problem you find is that they aren't the only show in town. There's a lot of other suppliers doing the exact same thing. And nowadays I get inundated by about 5 emails a day from lead gen agencies who are offering the same kind of service. And unfortunately, at the time when I signed up for this, I wasn't as familiar with how flooded the market was, and I don't think it was as flooded. It's just certainly a really sort of hotbed right now for that type of service. And the problem with that is that, like, if you were to apply that same service 2 years ago, you'd be done brilliant. You'd be getting meetings booked. Your calendar would be booked out. But the problem is that AI has changed people's mindsets. You've got any of the people you're trying to reach are getting inundated with the same messaging and the same type of personalization. And even if it is legit or it's manually done, it doesn't matter. It's getting tarred with that one brush. So that's what you're up against. You have to change accordingly. So unfortunately, there was nothing, no return really on that 3-month program with the AI tool. It just wasn't getting any of the results I thought it might do. So I had to pivot, and that's actually where this was where the new version of Springboard IQ was actually born. I could see how difficult it is for founders out there to try to reach, not only reach their prospects, but also just to go to market in the new world that is the AI world, where there's automation and bots and everything flooding the market, flooding inboxes, and it's just a different ballgame. So what I actually did was I'd met a lot of people along the way, people who were mentors on the platform for other companies, or else I'd been going to events and meeting people along the way. So what I did was I actually reached out to them and just to try to get a bit of a blueprint of what's the best way to go to market right now. And it was actually after I got all that feedback that I thought to myself, that's actually a really good service. So that's when I pivoted Springboard IQ to a more sort of to a solution that offers startups like who were facing the same problems I was, a solution that is crowdsource ideas from people who are active in the industry right now, and in a very short period of time you can turn around and you can start implementing that in your own business. So that's where we got the go-to-market reset, which essentially is we'll onboard 1 client per week. The reason we do that is because we have limited access to our mentors and to our the sales leaders who are part of the panel. And once a week, we'll sit around and we'll 1 client a week. We'll sit around and we'll strategize what's the best way for them to go to market. And that could be your messaging, it could be the channels you're using, it could be whether to do events, it could be what events to do, it could be, okay, have they thought about partnering with this company? There's so many ways to get it there now, but if you're relying fully on cold outreach emails, unfortunately, those days are gone. Don't get me wrong, it has a part to play, but it's minor now rather than major. So, yeah,